Something more I have to say for this video is that my favorite representation of me and Kishimoto is Boomer Red Dodger. Okay, so he's my favorite, where it comes to Oshiran archetype because he is a Sasuke. He's a thing of a manga that is exactly like Sasuke that I loved ever since, junior high and high school. Because Boomer literally is my shit because he really comes out when it comes to the cockiness, literally when it comes to Vegeta complex, and when it comes to destroying Ryota. Now, a side note that you didn't know, literally, something I should have stated in the Vanessa video, is that I took a walk with some of the girls in San Francisco. You know how I went on that one trip, with those girls, the cosplayers of CC1, the Blair, etc. in San Francisco, okay? Literally, I walked with them. Literally, I did my little dance like Boomer, this, and that, and guess what ended up happening? I figured out that it's the way to get the most dopamine on this planet, okay? So you see, literally, me with the Xbox, literally, how I'm involved in evolution with Sparking Zero. Literally, and all this shit is happening, literally, as scientists is doing shit, literally, I know that's how you get most dopamine for humans, so if you compare it to your auntie, if you complain to your uncle, complain, that is true shit, but that's only because you are abusing evolution, okay? Now, another side note that you need to know about me and Kishimoto and why literally the blood terrain really did everything is that what you did know is that when I was in high school, I was the lunge where it came to getting women. Okay, what does that mean? That means before Kage literally was born, before CB came, literally I was the lunge, literally being. It was the lunge, that's the middle, literally when everybody looks around the meeting, okay? Literally, I was a guy in the middle, struggling to high school, trying to hold on to being a square. Listen to Japanese music. Listening to not music from Chaotic, but actual Japanese music from Chaotic. Literally, all the way to the point. Literally, when people in Carlos and everything are telling me advice, little do you know that I'm the lunge. But you know why? Because people don't give you the opportunity to go into detail. So what does the lunge do? It's that thing in the middle. So I told you over and over again on my channel that gang members have more proportion, alright? Literally, so if you're the lunge, if you're the thing in the middle, guess what happens? Literally, you gotta go somewhere, literally, you gotta see something literally that outweighs errors. This is that thing, you gotta kill him, then you gotta run into errors, because guess what? He was a square, he was on a computer, he was constantly working on BET, alright? And there's a little group that I made, literally, where I kept on looking A and B for Soul Eater as Lil Wayne. It's called CRS, for Kanye West, okay? Alright, literally, they actually made a group when I was looking it up, but I didn't get no credit because you see, everything's one frequency and one things will still one frequency. I was the lunge, I was like, hey, this for a girl, but I wasn't buff, but I wasn't athletic, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna get past, they're gonna use more proportion against the lunge, so you can't, go against the lunge forever, alright, and guess what that means? That led to the death of America. That's why I'm just like Eminem. You wanna know why? Because I'm the lunge, alright, literally, that was before the build, that was before this and that, that's when I was doing the Yesy thing, okay, literally. So you need to understand that. Well, it's that mean to keep you on that means to all buds and all gang members, it's a bug. Because I put something in the middle to stop your plan from manipulation and stop your plan from going further, okay? Literally, so when you figure that out, literally, so when I say things like, literally, yo, I'm Cass from Chaotic, it is no joke. Literally, when it comes to Amy, Leilani, literally, I had the best freshman year on the planet, alright? I don't like talking about, like that, but it's true. It's true to his fucking fullest force because what you don't understand is that Lily Cass is the fucking shit. Lily, he's out of his mind fucking handsome. Lily, that's the effect I've had woman. Lily, no matter how much they hate me, no matter how much fucking Amy hate me, no matter how much, Aolani hate me, Lily, that's the effect I have on them. Lily, and it's crazy. Lily, you didn't think that I was stopping bitches like Marlene as a freshman? It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Standard was fucking fluctuating. I look like fucking Travis Barker on BET. Alright? Or I used to have this easy E-shirt on, right? Literally, I used to have, white laces I used to color in the bands, right? It's over, so like I'm saying, fucking what's that lens gonna lead to? The lead to the death of America. This is where we have this whole fucking thing. But as I showed you, from collecting energy, in the blood beating, you need to understand that this was a literal fucking thing, okay? So, you need to get over, you need to get over the building, with everything. But, that's what came, so, there's also one more thing, Chris said that he's gonna pay for my, PlayStation, thing. So I'm like, okay, literally, but they put this body thing. I'm like, I just got my card, so I was gonna text them I just got my card, so I was gonna do this, and that. Literally, but they say, oh, dude, let's prove that you're a victim. So I'm like, whatever, literally, I just want to go, literally, I'll walk the luckies, literally, get on my 2021, get back to her, withdraw some money, literally, but it's over, alright? So that's just some extra credits for this video. So just to let you know, everything's alright. So I'm gonna see you later on. This is Lutrix, I'm out.